Hello, my name is Jennifer Atolano, and today I'm presenting the 24-hour daycare. So for that, I wanted to start off with my unique value proposition. So for that, I put, for parents that work long hours and hard hours who struggle to find babysitters for late nights and on the spot, the 24-hour daycare would be a place where parents can feel comfortable leaving their children overnight close to work and always having the children ready for pickup, unlike others. After that, I went ahead and put the problem statement. So for the problem statement, to briefly explain, it's more for parents that have, it could be single parent homes or even homes that have both parents. Some of them obviously work graveyard shift, which can be range from 9 o'clock at night all the way up until 4 o'clock in the morning, and they'd be working all night. And it'd really be hard to leave their children at home by themselves, especially if they're younger. The 24-hour daycare can still benefit them because we'd be able to offer services to them, especially we want to have buildings in hospitals, corporate buildings. Downstairs they would be able to, be there all night. And for that, parents would be able to meet the babysitters, get to know our program even before they start bringing their children in. So for that problem of parents having those crazy hours and working all night, the 24-hour daycare would help with children being left alone while parents work long hours throughout the night. A little example that I had personally was my older sister. She was a single parent for a while. She had 3 children. And obviously it'd be really hard. She worked in the medical field. If she would get called in at night and, we could be busy, we could be asleep already. And obviously she didn't want to bother us. So she tried looking for babysitters that would fit her hours and she just could not find them. And obviously, of course, we would be willing to help. But it would be hard for nights that, who knows, if I was working all night or my parents were working all night and we weren't able to watch the kids, it would become a very difficult situation and something that we would have to work around. And with the 24-hour daycare, there would be nowhere you can come, drop off the kids, just have their clothes ready for the next day, and we'll get it from there. So next we had the Tam, Sam, and Som. So for the 24-hour daycare, we kind of broke it down into 4 different areas. So we had 1, obviously we have to deal with the children. 2, we have to deal with the parents. 3, we have to deal with all the workers that would be willing to work those long hours and be able to stay up all night with the children and not fall asleep in case of anything. And the 4th one we had for now was COVID. So we had to think of COVID and what safety measures we would have to take in order to have people or have the children stay all night. Of course, they'd get tired and want to sleep. After that, we broke it down. For children, we broke it down by age. So we had from 0 to 3, and we broke that down to what we would need to have in order to make them feel comfortable, and kind of what expenses we would need to have covered. So for ages 0 to 3, we need diapers, extra underwear in case of messes, wipes, bottles, formula, and then we had to think about if mothers breastfeeded, and if they were still breastfeeding for the whole first year, then we would have to find a way, if maybe on their break, can they come and do that for them? So that was something we had to think of as well. Also for the age, we thought from 4 to 6. That was a certain age range that we would need age-appropriate toys, extra underwear as well, extra clothes. And then we had 7 to 12. We had to think. Some parents really, even if they're 12 years old, they don't want their kids staying home all late at night. Even if they're just going to be asleep and you lock up, it wouldn't really be safe to have them there by themselves or with younger children all night. So we would need things to entertain them, things that would make them feel comfortable because they are older, pretty much in the preteen stage. And if ever the situation parents don't want maybe the age between 12 and 14 to stay at home, we can think of opportunities for them maybe to volunteer, and they could stay all night if parents had to go, or we would be maybe offer them a job if they were older than 14. And then under children, so we had age, the first one, and then we had gender. Obviously male and female. So we'd have to think, okay, we're obviously going to need male employees to help with male issues with the children, and then females to help with the female issues with the children, and just to make anyone feel comfortable if they'd prefer male babysitter, female babysitter, just to be able to offer them anything that they need to make them feel as comfortable as possible. And then the next one that I did have would be special ed children. How would we be able to make that happen, where we can have special ed children and be able to have their experience an amazing one, and be able to have special maybe babysitters that know how to handle situations with them, because we know that it would be a very different experience from other children. So we had children, then we had parents. So we broke that down to low income, high income, single, married, and the type of job they have. For low income, we noticed that how are we going to have deals for them, be able to work around what they can pay? Are we going to have, certain specials for low income families? And then for high income families, obviously they'd pay the original price. And then we thought of single parents, how are we going to be able to provide the needs that they need? And then for married, we'd have to work around 2 different schedules and be able to see when the children would need to be dropped off, when they would need to be ready, and we're just going to have to take notes of that when they come in. After that, it would be the type of job. So it can be a nurse, that would be more depending on the building that it would be in. So we can do like if we had it in a hospital, it would be different, because it would be different as if it was just by itself, because if it was in a hospital, the parents would be right by their children, which I think is a great thing that we can provide, is having it right there in the hospital. Parents can, if they're on the break, they just come right down, see their children, make sure everything's okay. If any emergency happens, they are just a step away. And then for the next one, we had COVID. So obviously we have to see, are we going to take temperatures? Are they going to have time outside? Are we going to have playgrounds for them to play on? Cleansing, sanitizing all the toys that they're going to have. So everything broken down is really what we have to think about, and it's all going to cost money. So that is something that is obviously to take into mind, how much is all this going to cost for each individual thing to make the whole experience better. So for the next one, we have the competition matrix. So for that, we have the 24-hour daycare, and what we offer is obviously it's 24/7. We would have high security, obviously being there all night. And obviously we would be able to provide parents meeting all the babysitters, getting to know them first before they even think about joining the 24-hour daycare, which I think would be great, because in some cases you just kind of drop them off and whoever's there is there. For the third feature, we had that when we grow, we want locations in hospitals, buildings, that would be more convenient to the parents. So for our first competitor, we did care.com. We know that's a huge thing, that where you see the background checks of the babysitters, they come to the house, you see what their work, like how much they want to be paid. So you get a lot of more information on that website. So that is a big competitor, I would say, because a lot of people turn to that for when they need someone. For our second one, I have low income house daycare. So I know that for lower income, they have specific daycares that you can go to that the government will pay for. And I think that a lot of people would really benefit more from that, because it would cost way less and it would be a lot more easy access to them, especially for low income families. For our third competitor, we had just other regular daycares. Obviously, there's a lot around, and we would have to see what's going to make our 24-hour daycare very unique from the other ones. Some could have the same concept as us, and we don't even know. So that was just something to really think about. After we did the SWOT, so for the strengths that we have, we did that we are 24 hours. And I think, obviously, like I said before, this is really beneficial because we really, for parents, it would be a really great thing for them to, at any time, even if it's throughout the day, they would be able to bring the kids and, pay for it, obviously, but I think it's more convenient to have 24-hour and not have to worry, are they open, are they closed, open 24/7, every day, all day. So for the weaknesses, I feel like it would be a really big lack of money. Trying to get the money for all the kids would really be, it would really have to take loans, and trying to get everything, really this to the smallest things, even buying security. It's just, I feel like that's a weakness to think about, and just the money issue with all of it. For opportunities, the opportunities that my company can have would be I saw that in the Colorado Springs area, there actually aren't a lot of daycares available, and for the way Colorado Springs is growing, I believe there will be a need for babysitters even in downtown. There really, I couldn't find as many babysitters as I thought there would be. Back when I lived in California, there was babysitters everywhere. You can find them, home ones, regular building ones. You can find them almost anywhere. For the T, for the threats that are out there in the world for our company, would be that there are already so many daycares. Like I said, thankfully there aren't as many in the Springs, but everywhere else there are a lot of daycares, and that is a threat. If they want to use care.com, it's already an online method that everyone's using online nowadays, so I think that's a really big threat for us. For the target customer, I said that it would be a woman, so she would be a single mother with 3 children, preferably under 12. She would also be more, probably work as a nurse or businesswoman that would have very sporadic hours, or that would be all night. That would have not to be rude, but to have a semi-heavy workload, so that she would need a babysitter, even if she's just at the office getting her work done and she has nobody to watch them. For our key milestones. So for the milestones, I have my image right here of the different steps. I had about 5 steps that I think that I would need that would be milestones for me. So the first step I put was to figure out how to get, so the first step would be to figure out how to get the revenue and profit through the 24-hour daycare. That's a big concern, as I said, is the money, trying to make profit. Are we spending too much and we're not going to make any profit at all for a very long time? Also, it was making the first milestone would to be making a list of the different prices that we need for the different age groups. I believe more younger should be more expensive because they are a lot more work to handle, changing diapers, making sure they eat, or their feeding times are more frequent, I would say, and so we would have to see what would be the cost of that. So for the second step, I would say to see how we can provide services that are safe and friendly, and then we'd have to get approval from officials that we can officially start up our business. I know that for babysitting, it would be something that we have to get certified, we have to get they have to make sure that we're doing everything for the right reasons, nothing's going to go wrong in a way. So we need to get approval. Our third step would be to get a building or a place appropriate to handle an overnight/all-day daycare. Also to get a loan or financial aid for the building, equipment, etc. And to advertise to get some new clients for when we open up. I would love to So for the middle step, I would love to start getting everything builded, but also make clients to be able to have them ready and lined up for when we start the business and ensure that we're going to be making some money right when we open it. So for the fourth step, it would be to get everything inspected and approved to officially bring in the families. So making sure everything is child proof or baby proof, and making sure everything is up to code in a way. For the fifth step, it would be to open the business and have all the background checks done, and to have at least the minimum people needed hired and ready to start the job. So for the main points, I put figure out profits, approval for business, get the money and see what we need, building approval, open up. Okay. So for the how will we fund this venture, I put that I would hopefully want to get a loan from the bank that would help me get everything necessary. If you will seek investors, what is your ask? So I am hoping for probably about, I would say we're probably going to need about $150,000 just to be able to get the rent down for a couple of, I would say, a good amount of months, and to be able to pretty much not have to worry about a spending limit, especially for the little things like beds, maybe bunk beds, all the toys, the TV, everything that we're going to need for that as well. So pretty much, and then so that was for the asking and funding part of this presentation. And for the pricing and cost to make this, when I was doing the document, I did see on the spreadsheet that it would probably take about $35 per child. I would say per hour, which is a lot of money. So trying to figure out the money again for the price/costing to make it would be needed for finishing up the business in a way. So overall, with this presentation, I saw that a problem in the world was single parents not being able to find a babysitter, and they leaving them at home with strangers or like random babysitters, or leaving them alone all night. And I thought that was a problem that I saw personally, with my sister and her being a single parent for some time. It was very hard. Like, do I just leave the kids, or like I need to get somebody here to watch them so I can go work because we need to make the money. So obviously our solution is the 24-hour daycare. So it would help children that are being left alone while parents work long hours throughout the night. So I believe that my business would be able to be a solution for all the single mothers, fathers, or any parents that need the help, so that we can keep our children safe and not leave them alone at night.